I'll be tackling this mid-century modern dresser that was part of a set I got back in November 2024, and there was other price in it. Hello amazing humans, my name is Alumine, and welcome back to Just Keep Sending. If you love furniture transformations, problem solving, and a little chaos, you're in the right place. Let's listen to Alumine from December 25th to see what she had to say about this project.
Let's see how much from the moment I record this intro to the moment I decide what I'm gonna do. Let's see how much it will actually get accomplished. The idea is to remove the base of these. I'm gonna try to save the drawers because they seem to be in a pretty good condition, and we're gonna be painting everything else. One solid color. I'm gonna remove those gold details. So that's the idea. Am I wearing my PJs? No, this is just my inside house pants. So
I drove about 1 hour to pick up this dresser, headboard, and a mirror that was being sold at a garage sale for $40. I knew it had a lot of potentials, but I didn't expect it was going to be that good. Yes. To my surprise, when I started cleaning, I realized it was a Basset. And if you're a furniture geek like me, you know that this one is one of the good ones. At a first glance, the veneer on the drawers was great. There was a few parts chipping on the top and bottom, and there were some weird things in one of the drawers. Enough with the chit-chat. Mans a la obra. I started with a good clean, removing the drawers, vacuuming inside, and getting a good look at the structure. I was also very lucky to be able to remove the back with just a few screws. I removed all the hardware, including the metal weird thingy that gave an architectural column look. After removing the hardware and mastering the game plan, it was time to get to the repairs. But before doing that, I needed to figure out how to remove the finish, as I know by experience that blonde MCM stain is very annoying to remove. For that, I started scraping, but it was hard to hold the drawer in place, so I moved to sanding with 60 grit, but that was boring. That blonde was still going to be stuck in the grain. So I moved to chemical stripper, and I put it under the sun, as someone told me a long time ago that this one needs a little bit of UV help, but honestly I'm not sure it worked. And as I didn't have all day, I just moved the drawers inside and finished them.
I poured the whole container in. Ugh, I don't like it, but it looked like it worked. So I'm gonna remove it and hope for the best.
Before anything else, we were going to address this space because that curve has to go.
You know that moment in time when you just measure and you just hope for it to work? Well, this is going to be that very moment.
I work better with a circular saw, and to do that I needed that the piece I cut is parallel to the floor. This is a long dresser, so I had no choice than to put it on its side. Tape so I don't generate any extra splinters, and then chop, chop, chop. Okay, one side done, one more to go, let's do this again. Once the base was gone, I needed to generate a solid structure to attach the legs I chose. For that, I measured and I cut to shape some 2x4s and I attached them to the bottom. I feel like this has been day 152 of this Basset set, but in my defense, I have started and finished another project in between. I also finished my round table that who knows when I'll be posting. Maybe I already posted it, who knows. And I also started a new project, which is the cane chair that also, who knows when I'll be posting that. In my defense, last week, Sunday, Monday, that are my days off, it was freaking cold. I was not coming in. The week before, it was also freaking cold. So I decided to do projects inside the house, nothing that required me to come to the garage because I kind of like myself way too much to torture myself. So that said, I'm making the holes for attaching the legs. Let's flip this. I want to align them to the column that it has in the center to make them look a little bit more cohesive. Let's make the holes. It's a 1.5, which is exactly how big this thing is. It's a little bit more. So it can fit flush and you won't see these popping off from the dresser, which actually technically you won't because it's gonna be on the bottom, but it bothers me. It had bothered me before, it bothers me now. So wish me luck, it's the first time I'm gonna be using this. I wanted to mount the hardware so I didn't have to flip the piece again, so I took care of that too. To move to the rest of the repairs, I first fixed the top and the base where there was some of this thick veneer coming off. I used both epoxy putty and Bondo. Both were great. There were a few minor repairs that needed attention, but I also filled the holes of the nails I removed and I manually sanded all the curves with the sanding sponge. After that, it was time to sand the whole piece. I did a few repairs on the top with glazing putty. I also sanded the drawers in all its faces, inside and outside, as I always do. But there was one last thing to do, and that was this drawer. I have been having a hard time to get these out of here. I believe it's nail polish remover because it's not coming out at all. Look at this. I tried to sand it, nothing's coming out. So yeah, I'm gonna do it even though I don't want to. Yeah, this is happening. I'm just gonna pour a little bit to see what happens. Wait, I need to level the drawer, otherwise it's gonna pour all the way to the back. Okay, you know how it goes now, just acetone pouring in the drawer. It was time to add color to this project, and I was going to spray, so I had to get ready. And while I was getting ready, I made a little song of my favorite part of every project, taping. This is why I never tape, because I don't know how to be normal and tape like a normal person. If you made it this far after seeing that, thank you. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around for more fun projects and a lot of trial and error, and maybe less amount of silence. How much water do I put? Look. Only until I can see it. Can you see it? Oh, only that. That's all the water I can put in there. So on the bottom doesn't go the blob of paint. That's the whole point of putting a little bit of water before, because that's the first thing that's gonna come off when you spray. And for inside, I always use a new stick. Yeah, I know that's not very eco-friendly, but you don't want a used stick. You don't know, well, I mean, you took the time to strain it and you're gonna use a dirty stick? No. Always a new one. I set up the shelter to get ready to spray my heart away. Look at what I did. You see? Sometimes we're just distracted and these things happen. I always paint this part of my dresser. It had a mirror here. Yeah, I always paint that part because I just don't like to leave it raw. Now I'm gonna attach the backing. After the first coat, there was more touch-ups to do, so I did another round of glazing putty. And just a quick tip on how I empty the compressor in between uses. Between one coat and another, I decided to do something crazy and not clean the spray gun, but I put it in the fridge. And surprisingly, it worked. I did 3 coats of paint and 3 coats of top coat that I tinted with some of the same paint. For the drawers, I applied water-based stain in American walnut, and I finished up with the Rust-Oleum stain and poly combo. I also addressed the dovetails because that is pure love. So after sanding, using the drill, there's a few that have a few marks going this way. So I need to remove them before I stain. I'm gonna sand this way. Yeah, wear a mask when you sand, even by hand, you know. But I wanted to just do this for the camera, as also I am painting, so I shouldn't be close to my paint job, huh? Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, so I'm using 220 even though I should be using 150 because I'm going to be using gel stain. But it's okay, it's what I have available. A lot of people sand with 220 before using gel stain. I don't, I do 150 as per recommended instructions on the can, or I saw that on a video. So remember, you see all the dots? I'm breathing all that. Is that good? No, it's not. For the legs, it was a little bit more tricky because the wood was different. After sanding to remove the finish, I stained, but I also had to color match. The American walnut had some purple undertones. So I'm going to be using some of these toners I had for a long time. This is a little bit too yellow. Okay, made a mess. This is too yellow. And then I have, this is the one I use the most. This is dark walnut. And this is medium brown walnut. My favorite one is perfect brown. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I should probably go back eventually to this place that they sell. I finished by nurturing the mahogany on the bottom of the drawers, adding wax to the tracks, and I painted the original hardware in gold. Before I show you the reveal, let's get a reminder of the before. And this is now. If you've been here for a while, you probably are not surprised I ended up choosing Jasper Green. This is one of my favorite colors by Sherwin-Williams, and I still have a lot of paint left. And honestly, the walnut stay over the mahogany is to die for. I did a quick market research to see how much I could list it for. So I ended up listing it for $450, getting tons of offers on the first couple of days. It sold in a week, but I didn't deliver it until 2 weeks after due to my customer availability. Considering that I didn't buy any product for this piece except for the legs and I charged additional for delivery, it was a good profit. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I feel the continuity of the side columns transferred into the legs made them look like they were meant to be. I would love to know what you think about it, maybe if you would have done something different. I hope you learned something today, and if you're here just for fun, welcome again. This dresser proves one more time that everything can be transformed with some love, paint, and a little bit of skills. And remember, skills can be learned. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!